their feet. They're out of their
then
seats,
ఇప్పుడు
and
7
they are ready to take it to Breeze.
1.3k
You think about the history of this matchup between China and Pacific. It's been so back and forth. This time it's the new guard for Gen G. They have to prove why they beat Paper X, why they beat DRX, why they're here. They have a chance to book a spot in the playoffs, but so do Edward Gaming. We're into the agents. Like Gen G played the Yoru comp on this map, and EDG
payment
the old bog standard with Kong Kong on that jet.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the Euro. I want to see more impact. I feel like the other day it felt super flat. The impact was not there, especially now starting on the attack, but mostly so on that second half. Is he going to put that pressure onto the map? Same goes for Karen. I think that he had a great game, but it was the disaster was a bit lackluster.
I'm looking at the flanks and how Gen G can handle it. Last time they played this, they were getting lurks up holes on the attack side. They were letting flanks come. They really need to have buttoned down how to play, because it's a big risk going to Breeze without Cypher.
Well, the winner moves to playoffs, and the loser will have to fight for survival on Monday one last time. Here's Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Mika, and our wonderful analyst desk, Tom, as we dive into this final map, the third of the series, the last of the day. I'm very impressed with what we just saw from Gen G. You want to put out a prediction for this one?
No.
Prediction.
You know what? No, I don't. Because so far, I said that I thought EDG would win the second map. Gen G would win the first map. So, yeah, no,
EDG
you know what? I don't fancy giving a prediction. I'm just going to let it
underdog and you know what I'll say? I'm going to predict Gen G if it's going to be the same as last map, where Lakia lost one opening duel. Other than that, it was exclusively Meteor and Texture that took over the match. Rare you see that. The other two players absent in early fights. It was just these guys. Now, with the success they've been finding, hey, I'm not going to ask you to change that.
So the record that they have on this map for Gen G kind of stinks. It's not been fantastic. They've lost it 3 times in a row. Team Secret and Loud. But according to Jen, who obviously does a lot of the Korean translations and interviews, she said that they feel really confident in this map and in this composition in particular. So yeah, I've leaked what she said. She can come fight me if she wants. Either way, I'm winning that fight. I know,
just like
but I wanted to say it.
The commerce part.
I'm happy to be beaten up.
But just like
that
fight as he gets rocked on that defensive side, an aggressive push that's now left Haodong in a little bit of an isolated position. If you have 2 players right behind him.
Prediction until
after finding that open direction, if they took down Haodong, they might consider just full blitzing the B site. That seems to be the plan, Tom, but there could be danger here. Still a trap.
Danik separate websites
destroyed, and the cam's gone.
IPL start ayaka adu kuda
Smoggy out with it. Okay.
You already చేసావుగా కోహ్లీ బ్యాటింగ్ అయితే ఇప్పుడు వరకు ఫైనల్ మ్యాచ్ లో
What texture
every single member of the EDG side
గుర్తుందారా
is gone.
2000 మొక్క
Well,
పెట్టించుకున్నావు
that's exactly how you want to see it start if you are on that Gen G side.
Engo గుర్తిస్తలే 2000
And that's the thing.
యోగరాజ్ చెప్తే
It hasn't worked for them so far this
కాదు
competition. But it's
శ్యామ్
one I
మీటింగ్
like.
దారుణం అసలు
They
ఏంద్రా
have
మీటింగ్
2
చూడు
agents that can take a lot of map control.
15
And
ఓవర్లు
I think obviously the one sort of detriment to it is having that single initiator and not having the cypher. That's the main worry.
కొట్టావు కదా ఆల్రెడీ కొట్టేశారు కదా ఫైనల్
So it's something that they're going to have to definitely watch out for. But it allows for an awful lot of cool setups.
అయ్యా పరు తీస్తాడు
Early peak.
నన్ను ఎక్కడ అయింది ఫైనల్ లో నిన్న ముంబై ఇండియన్స్ ఆడితే
Marshall out. Headshots being
అవును
looked
అది
for.
ఫైనల్
No
కదా
bullets landing.
కాదు
And the aggression from nobody has been spotted. They're anticipating it. There's not really much he can do in terms of continuing down that avenue. Gen G have been super in a lot of these rounds that we've seen before. Anti-egos, anti-bonus rounds.
చెప్తున్నావు రాసుకో
Always sitting
ఏదో
back,
ఒకటి ఇద్దరు
always
ఢిల్లీ
using their
క్యాప్టెన్స్
utility to clear up and then catching them on the fall back. I've really enjoyed the discipline that they've shown, especially on the last map. And it seems like it's no different here.
Yeah, I think
పాప అంటే నీకు చెల్లి అవుతుందా
definitely warmed up into this game. And
మరదలు అవుతుంది
you almost have to hope for EDG's sake they haven't cooled off, because we've seen a lot of different
Okay,
heroes
women's,
throughout, especially in their Paper X game. We talk about great performances out of
ఇంకా
Howdong.
స్టార్ట్ అవ్వలేదు
I think nobody had a
అది కూడా
fantastic
కొట్టేస్తాంలే
split. But in the
Aha,
last
yes,
map,
follow
it's
it.
basically like, how many kills can Kong get?
కవర్
And
కాదు
if it's not at least 4,
హలో
they're probably losing the
ఐపీఎల్
round,
లేదన్న ఐపీఎల్
which is not
ఆర్సీబీ
the
ఏదన్న
sign you want
ఆర్సీబీ
to see. It reminds us of almost EDG of old.
మీమ్స్ ఆల్రెడీ వచ్చేసాయి
He's the hero.
మేము
and the
ఫైనల్
rest
కి
of the team
వచ్చేసామో
is
వచ్చి అంటది
looking to try and put him into position for this round.
అయితే బ్రహ్మానందము మిర్చి సినిమాలో
Expectations incredibly low. Sure,
బాబు
he
గారు
has
మమ్మల్ని
potential,
బయటికి
which,
తీసుకెళ్తున్నారు
given the
అని
opportunity to
ఎగరతా
do damage,
ఉంటుందా
but now in an afterplant,
అది పెట్టి
Lakia on a potential
కోహ్లీ
late
బ్రహ్మానందం
run.
అంట
There is a
మీరు
bit
గెలిచిన
of
అవ్వండి
that
నన్నే
but
తెగుతారు
I think
పిచ్చిదానా
Lakia's
అంట
now filled that. And it will now just be calm remaining.
కాదు
Well, they should have spotted the sniper. He shot a couple of bullets at them, so I don't know if anybody's going to want to feed him.
The only person I can see peeking that is Texture. The scope of his own on the outlaw.
మట్టి కొట్టేది జేసీబీ ఈసారి కప్పు కొట్టేది ఆర్ఎస్.
Where he hits, 45 HP. Kankan's on his way forward. Understandable. You know, he's not going to look to carry a Marshall through to the next, but the outlaw is holding the angle, and Texture will find that one easily. 2-0 for Gen G. Not much in the way of damage done. I think it was just a pistol was lost on mid. So, altogether, a start to this map for Gen G.
Yeah, Master and anybody has been actually able to get on the EDG side.
అది కడుపా మున్సిపాలిటీ కొట్టారా?
A map that doesn't necessarily fate, but it's still a scary fate to have. They managed to beat out there's a chance they face them again. You've got the likes of Heretics, like all of these teams that can come back, even maybe a little bit of chance for revenge for FPX as well. So those deciding games are not going to get any easier. Definitely has its benefits. Already.
Yeah. His host code there.
Both duelists being spotted
actually
outside of the
it's a condition. Gastric tablets.
But this is a bonus round.
One week academy. This to first year was there waiting Niku.
మనిషివి కాదు వాళ్ళు మనుషులు వాళ్ళ గ్యాపీరా.
తనకి అది ఏం నచ్చిందని అది కరెక్టే కానీ మొదలు మన సాయంత్రం ఖచ్చితంగా ఫస్ట్ మేమండి తిన్నావా వాటిని ట్రై చేస్తా హౌస్ కొట్టి
వచ్చినప్పుడు మాత్రం మా నాన్న పెట్టేస్తా బండి దగ్గర.
కాదు బెంగళూరులో ఉన్నారు, బెంగళూరు కూడా ట్రై చేస్తాను.
బెంగళూరులో బాగుంటుంది అంటారు. మా ఫ్రెండ్ కూడా రూమ్మేట్ కూడా
already first duel going their way, but nice work from Howdong. Smoggy as well, combining. Desperately low on HP, but they managed to weather the storm, hold them back that little bit longer. Leaving just two players remaining. Make it one. It is a clean sweep. Only nobody lost.
అంత హైవే మీద అంతా సాగర్
EDG bomb after
a
single kill in the first
half kilometer daku
they do quite well in the first buy.
Bro, repu tournament పెడుతున్నారు ఎవరైనా participate చేస్తారా? Very well held push on the side. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Actually breaking through it. The problem in this round short of any అంటే ఇప్పుడు Valorant map లో ఒక చిన్న బొమ్మ ఇమేజ్ మీకు చూపిస్తాను. అది ఎక్కడ ఉందో మీరు కనిపెట్టాలి. They certainly managed to reap the rewards for that. Coming into round number 4.
అతని పేరు ఏదో ఉంది
Meteor has an ulti on and it's going to be pulled right away. Into another dimension he goes. He's got to fall back, so he's left his gate crash in towards A main, clearing out this like a recon. Look how far back they've gone.
Games and Valorant lo games.
Blitzed on.
Cypher
has such a good angle for the rotate through. There's no way Chichu could have expected that.
Yeah, it's the orchestrator, the conductor from the back, and the gun barrel spotted. The start from Texture is going to make it so much more problematic clearing out these players from the back line. It's going to be impossible. Bear in mind, they've got snakebite lineups. They could use a gravity well, but I don't think they're even going to need it. Picking this team apart, Smoggy at least has found one, but here comes those lineups. Anybody who gets close to that spike, and they've already spotted both players. Meteor's blinded himself, but it doesn't even matter. Another Grandwell's also caught out Smoggy.
You're good blinded.
From Gen G. With slightly comical close to it, but
yeah,
they won't mind.
I've never seen a man look so lost in my life. Meteor didn't know where he was. The blind, he sees a player close, he has to run out of the smoke rather than get shot in the head. It was beautiful. It must be so confusing for Munchkin to step into that scenario, seeing them back to back. They were shooting from a James Bond poster. 3-1. Gen G in a prime position, played Storm online, not needed, with full rifles in play for that attacking side. Nothing to work with, just some pistols. I see the clock frozen on the top. I have to almost think this is a timeout for EDG. This early on, just...
No, nice one. You know join it, huh? Government.
Government,
government employee. A department, huh?
ఇదే సాంసల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఇరిగేషన్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్.
ఓ నైస్.
ఎలా వచ్చిందిరా సౌండ్? రౌండ్ 1 1 ఈజీగా.
Next time I saw it in the crowd, I didn't want to say it. Oh man, I didn't want to say it, but I haven't seen one.
Party aisa, party alert case.
I'm looking for it.
Noodles party.
Damn.
When you go to these events,
Yeah.
ఐరన్ కి వరస్ట్ ఉంది. ఆ రోజు వైరస్ కిల్కి వెళ్ళినప్పటి నుంచి నాకు ఈ బాల
Well, they're all kind of crazy, but the one in LA was
ఫుడ్
actually crazy.
ఫుడ్ ఓకే గాని
LA, yeah.
అంటే ఆ లాస్ట్ టైం వెళ్ళాం పాల్ గాని
Yeah. For
అవును
I
తేజ
had literally,
సీదా
I'm
పోయిందా
not kidding you, 12
ఆ రోజు ఏదో
security
చెప్పాడు శ్రీరామ్
walking me around.
అది తీసుకున్నప్పటి నుంచి నా బాల
పార్క్
అది
నుంచి
okay, few seconds.
వెళ్దాం తినడానికి వెళ్దాం ఇంట్లో అయితే బాగా
It's like, you know, the guy that's sweating.
ఎప్పుడు దాకా
Yeah, was he doing what is it called?
మంచిది.
I'm just saying, like, it's crazy for us too, for a different reason, but...
It's a disgusting
I was talking about the casters. What are you talking about? Why was it crazy for you guys?
దీని దాకా మనకు తెలియకూడదు అక్కడ అంతే.
Brazil?
Ending B again?
పాల్ ఫ్రైడేలో నీకేం నచ్చింది?
Nice flex? Absolutely, it's a flex, bro. They had 12 security guards. I told them I was good on my own.
Early on here, I'm not sure what
Wait, did he have
did. Maybe
knives?
flash
No,
through
right?
A main,
ఇంటి
then
గామి
TP
చూసావా?
right over to B.
చూసా
Nobody went down there.
The way he's
నాకు
running.
నచ్చింది కాదు
Perhaps even grab and rotates over.
లాస్ట్ కొంచెం మాలో బెటర్
Oh,
పెట్టి
those
బాగా
guards as well.
నీకెందుకు నచ్చలేదు?
Not standing at all.
ఏమో
డ్రాగన్ డ్రాగన్ అనిపించిందా లేకపోతే డ్రాగన్ స్టోరీ కొంచెం అదే డ్రాగ్ చేసి
Favorite CS maps?
స్క్రీన్ ప్లే చాలా బాగుంది. స్క్రీన్ ప్లే ఎక్స్టెండ్ అనిపించింది. 3 స్టోరీ లైన్స్ ని లాస్ట్ లో చూపించే
Nah, Inferno, bro. Imagine going.
నేనేమనుకున్నా తెలుసా
One KJ.
వాళ్ళిద్దరు బాడీ పార్ట్స్ తీసుకుని బాడీ పార్ట్స్
No, banana would be terrible.
ఓవర్ గా థింక్ చేసి
Imagine going banana, there's actual
శ్రీరామ్
stars.
భయ ఉండొచ్చు
Bro, I
అంతా.
was just like banana. Right? Oh wait, mid has a KJ Molly. Oh wait,
చివరికి అది షాక్
నేను ఫస్ట్ ఎదురు పోయాక
that was so good. But the CS
I
maps have to be
story-
like 5 times bigger.
story miss అవుతాయి కదా.
నేను బస్జర్ని చేసి వచ్చా కదా ఇది మళ్ళీ బయటికి తీసుకెళ్ళాడు. ఇంకా పడుకోలేను నేను.
అందుకనే పక్కన
మధ్యాహ్నం సినిమా అన్నాడు గమ్ముగా పడుకున్నావు.
Imagine a horse pop with a race statue and a jetpack.
అప్పటి నుంచి నిద్రలే మొదలైంది.
Enough is enough. Enough is
Dash
enough.
to sandwich, satchel out to sandwich.
Enough is enough.
IGL's trying to pull it through. You call that pause, you touch base with your coaching staff, and you're right back in.
కానీ చాలా బాగా
తర్వాత
Can you imagine Brimble on nuke?
నిజంగానా
That's why I talked about like that's why they don't have like 2-layer maps, right? Like KJ ult and shit.
Different approaches. The Gen G have shut down each time. This time though, late aggression on the back of a flash. It did catch one of them. The other sneaks into the corner, and that'll be
ఇది
aggressive.
తంత్రా కూడా బాగుంది.
Ever do a map at one side?
తంత్రాకి వెళ్దాం అంటే
అంటే వాళ్ళు ఏదో ఛాలెంజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. Scariest film.
No, wait. The fact
Challenge.
that there's 3 is crazy. No,
నా వరకు
3 is crazy. 1 is
అంటే లైక్
crazy too. They would do
జంప్
it.
పబ్లిష్
One
జంప్
map site
స్కేర్
will come at some point. Clip it. Clip it. Clip it.
ఏరియస్ అంటే అదే జంప్స్ పెడతా ఉంటాయి. అంతే ఉండదు సినిమాలు.
నేను ఒక సినిమా చూసి మూవీకి వెళ్ళాను నేను జగదీష్
జంప్స్ చేసి వచ్చి
ఆ సినిమా నవ్వుకుంటా ఉన్నా
You're in the island. You spawned in the island.
దానికి ఒక అతను వెళ్ళిపోయాడు హాల్లో వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అందరు ఎక్కిరిస్తారు వాళ్ళు పాప అనిపించింది.
ఎందుకు బాగాలేదు అన్న సినిమా.
బాగాలేదు కాదు భయాన్ని తట్టుకోలేక వెళ్ళిపోయాడు. నేను చూడలేదు. అదే హిట్ మూవీ అది కూడా సెకండ్ పార్ట్
సెకండ్ పార్ట్ క్లైమాక్స్ కామెడీ ఉంటది. దాన్ని సినిమా చేస్తారు.
This is like dessert first. Dessert versus crazy. You know why they switched the match time, right?
అతను ఫస్ట్ హాఫ్ కే వెళ్ళిపోయాడు ఇంటర్వెల్
Because the
అదే కదా
league team plays at the same time and they didn't want it to overlap because of the viewership.
EDG carry through to the
నేను
next
సెకండ్ పార్ట్
round.
థియేటర్ లో చూసా.
Already
ఫస్ట్
one is
పార్ట్
spotted towards the elbow,
ఓటీటీలో చూసాను
and
అనుకుంటా.
there's the crunch coming in from Meteor. He gets one.
ఫస్ట్ పార్ట్ అప్పుడు రాలేదు.
They're willing to commit. They're boxing him in.
ఫస్ట్
Chichu knows his only chance is to come out swinging to try and take the fight before
ఏమంతే
they
అనిపించదు.
pincer him Unfortunately, nothing is found. Rifles are dropped, and EDG.
Not
just the recovery that's in the bin. It should also be their mental. This is a really tough position. Yeah.
Already
prepared for everything that they want to do. Concons initially caught by his own teammates flash initially, so unable to find anything on the peak. They push into middle. Also, they're just waiting. They're ready, and the second he's dead, it does just look like okay. Now they can go for their executes. They get rid of the real danger. And the only round that they've won so far on the EDG side was purely based of Smoggy managing to get
James Bond galla na
It's being farmed up.
Ranal Kishore.
Meteor one away, Munchkin one away.
Nujisha Farooq kadi.
Play within this round though.
ఇప్పుడు ఏదో కొత్త సాంగ్ ఏదో వైరల్ అవుతుంది ఆ సాంగ్ లో ఉండి నాకు ఉందంట ఒక సాంగ్ వైరల్ అవుతుంది కన్నా అనేది సాంగ్ వస్తుంది తమిళ సాంగ్ ఆల్బమ్ సాంగ్
them being able to completely break open this attacking side in the coming rounds. Good job by Smoggy. That's texture down already. Some economy damage. But we need to see a lot of rifles dropped, and really, we're looking for a round win for EDG. This could be big. Time they run a nice position. Oh no! He puts his gun away! And instead, a little bit labour, but it still works out for Karen. There was a chance that he gets picked off, but that luck was filthy. And again, look, they're just going to use the Cosmic Divide, get themselves the afterpart. Do I believe there's any hope in the afterpart? Maybe. They realize just yet where everything's going down.
Go karna.
The sky. See that Cosmic Divide? That'll give it away. But they were looking to figure out anyone who was around. No one to be found.
Then
if you're on EDG right now, the real concern is seafood
restaurants
needed to take down the final player. It is delivered easily. That one didn't really seem under threat. GNG tightened their hold on this map and on this series with a 6-1 lead. One saving grace, Tom.
Ee baga beast
GNG have 4 ultimates coming into the next round, and they've called a timeout. If ever they were going to put another round on the board, this is really where you want to see it. Yeah, not bad ultimates for a retake as well. Because that has been their major problem. Just look at the deaths. That's not something I say to look at the deaths over on GNG. Karen has died twice. And that's because they apply the late round every single time. Karen's lurks have been sublime, but they're so ready to just play in those afterplant situations. Now at least with something like a Hunter's Fury, maybe an aggressive push from Concon with the Blade Storm, they might be able to clear out some of those late flanks. I'm also looking though at the fact that he's got the operator, because he has been getting into a lot of early fights and losing pretty much every single one of them. The gun that pretty much made him famous. His hands once again, and if you're on that EDG side, you're going into round number 8. That is how dire the situation is right now for the Chinese powerhouse. Squad that came out swinging on GNG's map pick. They set the tone for the series. That tone has changed dramatically since we left Icebox. They've cooled down on EDG and GNG coming in hot off breeze. An 8th round about to kick off. GNG could be on 7. As I said, EDG have 4 ultis to play with. Bit of a concern though, with the retakes constantly needing to be played on A, with a pull for Meteor that we've seen used before to just clear this site out. Get the plant in. And then if it's Munchkin planting, that's the Viper's pick. If he takes the orb, that's the Viper's pick, and a really tough way back through. We're going for a Hunter's Fury, blind as a bat. Unfortunately, it's not found anything with the orb retrieve. Here comes the pit to cover the plant. Now you don't have that Hunter's Fury. No command.
Speed lot ఆపలేదు
They're still covering out some of this map. It looks like they want to go forward. There's a flank on the way from Karen. There's really not a lot going for this defensive side, even though it's a 5v4. The odds are stacked against them.
చాలా మందికి ఇంజూరీ అయింది ఆటో వాళ్ళకన్నా కనీసం ఏం కాలేదు
So much damage, devastation.
ఆ కారాలు పట్టుకోవాల్సింది కదా
Padding the stats because the round's already over. Gen G are running a
కరెక్ట్ గా అప్పుడే రాంగ్ రూట్ లో హరీష్ గడి ఫోన్ అట్లా సరే అని చెప్పి మన స్పారో స్పారో కాడ నుంచి అటుపక్క నుంచి పోయేవాళ్ళు ఇంటికి ఫోన్ చేశాను నేను టీ టైం కాడ ఉన్నాను అదంతా జనాలు యాక్సిడెంట్ రా అన్నాడు. అయ్యా ఇప్పుడే రంగు రూట్లో రాబోయాను.
నువ్వు చికెన్ షాప్ అని చెప్పేది ఎక్కడంటే బావచ్చి దాటిన తర్వాత లెఫ్ట్ లో వచ్చేది అదేనా?
రంగబాబు వాళ్ళ షాప్ కాడే.
అదే కంజు పెట్టాయి కూడా కంజు పెట్టాయి అని తెలుస్తుంది కదా ఎదురుగా
అది కాదు కొత్తోడు అప్పుడు పెట్టినాడు
కొత్తడు పెట్టాడు. అవునవును హరీష్ కూడా చెప్పాడు లాస్ట్ టైం.
వాడు అక్కించి వస్తున్నాడు ఎంజో బీఎన్ఆర్ సైడ్ నుంచి పడారపల్లి సైడ్ అయోధ్య సైడ్ పోతున్నాడు వాడు కారుడు.
Finally, Munchkins died, by the way. I think that's only death number 2.
Unless
he died last round as well, but even still.
Center lo undi kada iya babu bivina center
right at the end. So yeah, I think that was literally his
CCTV undi.
That's just ridiculous.
ఎంత స్పీడ్ వెళ్ళి ఉంటాడు మా ఖచ్చితంగా 150
చాలా స్పీడ్ వచ్చాడు.
150
స్పీడ్ బ్రేక్స్ ఉంది కాబట్టి ఒక 80.
It is big. It is removing a lot of the utility.
అంటే వాడు కొట్టినా కూడా రైస్ చేసిపోయాడు. మళ్ళీ ఇద్దరు తగిలింది కదా.
High-octane tries to fill the role and he's shut down immediately. Lackey is caught in the corner though, trapped in there, and the big iron takes him down. Back up. Well, the first shot doesn't hit. Meteors most certainly does. They don't know that there's a player sitting on the site. Smoggy has a chance, but I think he just broke the gate crash, so now the info will be there. But there is still someone sitting around. There's going to be a bodyguard on the planter, so no chance to deny it. And the real hope, okay, well that was actually a good chance. Some damage done. The eyes focused forward. Good flash. A good punish. Even though Chichu catches one from behind, he's going to swing straight into this op. I like the cage. Great use of it. Great swing. Oh, but he doesn't hit the kill shot. 55 HP, but that's enough for Texture to still be able to duel. And with Meteor coming around the other side, I don't see a lot of ways this goes for Chichu. He needs to be quick, clean, and clinical. Good shot, good correction as well. Meteor forced back, and the defuse is underway. No utility for the Yoru. It's going to be a dry peek, and it's worked out again for Gen G. One of the closer rounds for EDG, but again they lose. And 8-1 we go. It doesn't seem like there's any safe haven for the defenders.
No, that was one of the best opportunities for them. A few pieces of aggressive push, some team play that worked out. They met Meteor at the end, and they went extinct. 11-4 for him. But there hasn't been a weak link. That's been the major issue. Gen G peaked at the perfect moment, as they have done versus most of their opponents throughout this game.
Well, time to lock and load. Go again. For EDG, they probably would have called the timeout coming into this round if they still had one, but they've burned them up. They're on their own now. All on their own, just like the round count. Viper's Pit online for the defenders. The way back through, that could help. You see a retake wall on B. One that lets them get close from middle and pop. No! He's out. Okay, cool. Oh no, he's not! Oh, he's been hunted! That's one of the best hunter series I've ever seen! Just tagged both! That's ridiculous from Lakia! After a first map to forget, he's been fantastic ever since, back with a vengeance. And look who it is they killed, Tom! That's your Viper's Pit, down and out of the round! No way back through for them now.
Well, I hope he's going to try. He's got some support, but again, there's a smoke to deny them a Meteor in an aggressive position. Just doesn't seem to be missing a beat. Stolen away by Karen in the end, but 9-1. Whether you predicted the first and the second map, I think you're a bit crazy if you did. But if you thought this is how number 3 was going to go, props to you. This is
so disgusting. Was there? Am I mistaken in saying
next to Antony wipe
away that player's position? That was a blind fire to Hunter's Fury, right? He's pulled back the bow. 3 pulls of the bow, and every single one hit their mark. Bullseye after bullseye. 9-1. Gen G are absolutely stealing this series away. They got dominated on their map pick.
And then they showed up. They've only given 6 rounds on the last map in this one. Explain that one.
నిన్న వాళ్ళు PRX ని ట్రిగ్గర్ చేశారని చెప్పి చేస్తున్నారు.
Give a little bit of info. It really is a bleak reality for EDG right now. We saw on the player cams.
PRX started balaad
because it is rare, no matter who you are, that you shut this man out completely. But that has been the story thus far.
Onity ani global esports player mana Indian team la athanu ippudu race star.
You can see just trying to make this awkward, try and make this confusing. And there's texture. Even still though, Khan has managed to take him down. A trade, which I'll be honest, so far has been unusual. A deep mid position from nobody, but looks away just as they make the cross. The entire team comes out, and then Khan peeks into the lot of them. He has had a cursed game so far. Finally, we see there's a cypher.
He got a tag, Tom. He got a tag.
It's because they're finally going B. That doesn't happen very often. It doesn't matter though. They're still losing every single fight ahead of them.
Timing.
Chichu probably gobsmacked that they've actually entered into the B
side.
To go here. They're so ready for it. He does at least manage to drop the player planting, but it's after they've already planted. And while just as every other round goes, it is 10-1. Ridiculous.
I don't even remember what round EDG won. To be honest, this has been the most.
It was the round where Smoggy got, I think it was 3 kills on the
highlight.
You're right. Yeah, it was the pyramid play.
It's the only
thing that's happened. Like, you could study this. You could watch this back again and again. Icebox.
Look at what they're buying. Look at what they're buying.
Stop.
Look at what they're buying.
It's the last round of the half.
Look at what
they've got backup weapons.
Look at what they're doing.
They've got backup weapons for days and 3.
This is the calm waiting angle. Where does he peek? Does he peek A main? Does he peek into middle? That's where Khan is. They're waiting for it. This is so disgusting. They know it's coming as well.
Oh no, they know where texture is. What a disaster. Blade Storm used as well. Upshot fires out. It was Munchkin letting loose on that shot, swapping the weapon over for a Phantom, and they're still keeping the 3. It's just juggled around. Now it's Lakia who's going to be your opper. I don't know how they're running this. You know, you take one shot, then you juggle it over, right? That's your chance gone. Now it's someone else's turn.
Already gone. They're already dropping them.
Oh no, poor form. But they do have to make a play eventually. 50 seconds left on the clock. It's time to push forward. Hey, 2 ops on attack. It's still pretty good. Still pretty unique.
Meteor taking space. There hasn't been a battle or a brawl in this round. EDG have played a little bit more passive. It doesn't make a damn difference. They're being battered. Khan again tries to be the hero, but this time and every time he has been shut down.
Confusing.
How long, Chichu? Well, there's nothing they can do. A nice shot at least. He'll know where they are. But knowing and doing anything about it, it's going to be another thing altogether. The plant not the safest, but that's cover. They didn't even need the plant in the end. It is 11-1 scoreline. The most dominant half we've seen so far in the tournament.
Yep.
And it will have to be an even more dominant one if they're going to turn this around.
Yeah, fair play if anybody can beat that.
Round
in the event. I'm not expecting to see a much better half than this on any map. Absolutely gobsmacked by this attacking side of Gen G. 11 rounds, an EDG that came in the start of the day looking like favorites, playing like favorites, and Gen G have found themselves behind. Let's hear from Munchkins. We sat down with them earlier on.
Korea PUBG lo dominate చేస్తే ఇప్పుడు దీంట్లో Valorant లో dominate. కొత్త టీం అయింది.
제 IGL링 방식 자체가 팀원들이 잘하는 플레이 방식을 약간 돋워주면서 더 잘할 수 있게 하는 게 제 IGL 스타일링이기 때문에 저희 어느 선수든 나 이거 지금 해보고 싶다, 진짜 이거 할 수 있을 것 같다라고 항상 콜을 해주면 그런 방향성을 최대한 밀어주는 것 같아요. 크레이지 라쿤에서 속해 있던 저는 그때도 나이가 적은 편은 아니었지만 되게 성격이나 게임적으로 되게 어렸던 것 같고 지금의 지는 그래도 이제 청소년기가 조금 지난 그런 사람인 것 같아요.
Munchkin now just too late to the party, tries, and actually might do a little bit of chip damage to Tui's here if he doesn't get himself out of danger. Tui's taking a lot of damage from this. That's a little surprising as Munchkin now ready for it, gets it. He gives them the tiniest of margins.
사실 멀리서 이제 유럽 경기를 보고 북미 경기를 볼 때는 되게 다 무서웠는데 지금 마드리드 와서 보면은 퍼시픽이 가장 무서운 것 같은데 지금 한국 시간은 되게 늦은 시간인데 경기 끝까지 봐주셔서 정말 감사드리고요. 저희가 남아있는 경기들도 좋은 성적으로 얻어갈 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Korean product
Well, Munchkin sitting 10-2 right now. I imagine
Korean products
pretty
all
happy
about
with his performance. And probably the
Amazon
performance of his
ఎక్కువ
team overall. 10-round lead, 2 needed to close it out. The pistol may well seal EDG's fate, and even the best teams in the world will refer to those pistols as a coin toss. That's not a coin toss I'd like to be participating in if I was EDG.
No, I think if they pull this one off, we'll be talking about it for a long time. But the fact is, GNG, they started slow, they built it back to it, and now they're chance for the first time in history, not only making it to Masters, making it to Masters. For a lot of these players, that was a dream that
center lines కంటే కూడా కొంచెం alignment sound based చేసుకొని
this damn good. They are just 2 rounds away from making that history and being, well, maybe even one of the favorites. Some time before, EDG clearly not giving up just yet, but this man in pistol rounds is devastating as ever. The lurking Karen is all that remains.
Starting.
It's a trap here as well. Just gets caught by that. There's the info to play with. It will be a legendary comeback. Concon using Fnatic's pistol. You'll have to channel some of that energy and then some.
Yeah, you need more than that.
Well, it's a mini so to speak for EDG. 11 doubled the rounds here with the pistol win. Yeah, that pretty much summarizes this game so far. It's been tough.
But that was the thing. We saw that comeback happen because of a fantastic tactical pause.
Do you reckon they'll have one, Tom?
No, not until overtime at least. They've got to do it on their own. The coaches, they mentioned it. I think it was Chichu in the interview we saw earlier. How much they think the coaches really impact them. How much they lead by example while they're silenced. You're going to have to rely, well, either on their opponents eventually taking one. I guess that will be the real possibility. Even still, though, Texture going for a little bit of an investment here. Other than that, not a whole lot to play with. And, of course, you don't really expect any players to be saving too much here for the side of EDG because you can't afford to play a bonus round in the next.
Part of me sees this as a Gen G round, but how things have been going. Texture's dealt with, though. And now my odds are switching up a little bit. EDG have site control. Man advantage ×3. Well, it looks like Gen G will fall flat in this eco round. 1 kill for Lakia. And we're at the stage with 2 rounds needed for Gen G. I don't really care how much damage they do. They can make this a bit more costly. For Munchkin, he's picked up a Sheriff. He's close to the spike. There's a couple players getting close to ultis. It's 11-2 though, he can do what he likes. Probably just going down the spike.
To be honest, they've had so many plays that have been based off confidence. I wouldn't even mind too much if he tried to just do some damage. They have such a ridiculous lead, but clearly just wanting to make sure that they don't give any of those orbs over to Concon, Howdong, and instead we'll just go down to the spike. I fully expect that any weaker weaponry here for EDG is just upgraded. You can't be playing a bonus round here. You are too far behind. If you allow them to get to 12, you're playing for overtime, and we are at least seeing rifles purchased up. It's still not going to be the best advisor, that's the thing. I think an Outlaw's been purchased in the place of a Marshal. That's a slight upgrade at least, and it will still allow them to buy into the next round, but even with the slight weaknesses, EDG need to win this.
Well, EDG have 3 rounds, and Munchkin has 3 deaths. It's been a pretty strong game for Gen G so far, and now the rifles come out. As you said, EDG have some upgrades, but there's no such thing as, oh, well, we lost the bonus, it's all good. No. you gotta win that bonus, and nobody's off to a flying start with Karen already down and out. Gen G's numbers thin out, and the A site, well, you see, with the wall already up, I think they're gonna wait for another pulse. When the wall goes down, Kankan might have an opportunity to spray away. Good spray through, it's dealing some damage. Texture's forced back, caught by nobody. This is a good look for the side of EDG, trading out one after another. We said they needed to win this bonus, and it looks like they've got it locked down, but Meteor has a free kill, and it's been left to a 1v2. Very winnable for Meteor. TP, I love this, but I don't know if he's going to commit. I imagine it's a bait for info, and then he can sneak his way through to the site, but let's see.
Both players sat back. He does take the TP. It's being watched by Kankan. Both players around this angle. It would have to be a mistake at this stage, and even Kankan, one of the most confident players, decides it's not worth it. Smart EDG, not going to overextend, and this is the exact start they needed to start one of the most ridiculous comebacks of all time. Still, I don't think until we get to 8 or 9 rounds, we're going to start thinking about what could be on the cards. And you can see the confidence that's there. Like that push from Karen it just goes walking out. You can kind of understand it at this point when you won that many rounds in a row.
You only needed to work once.
Obviously,
Gen G, they can throw out a couple of those curveballs. Now, here's the interesting thing. 11-4. A huge lead for Gen G. And they decide to call a timeout. Funny, because you mentioned, Tom, earlier
international viewers కోసం రాసుకొచ్చేటట్టారు చైనా వ్యూవర్స్ కోసం
complimenting the coaching staff of EDG, saying how important it is for them to touch base with them. The Gen G have given them an opportunity to do so, but obviously they're just concerned about closing this game out.
When your coach is solo, one of the legendary Korean FPS players, you don't care who's on the other side. I'll be honest with you. He is someone who was there at the beginning of Valorant. He was there in titles before Valorant for many, many years. He has so much experience that I think they're going to value that a lot more than, oh, okay, now After gets to talk to his team as well. I also think there is just an aspect of momentum breaking. Because the fact is, I think of any team that we have in the scene, you watch Kankan's camera, when that guy gets pumped up, you're in trouble. So create the calm. Use your pauses for that. It might even just be a small talk of like, okay, let's calm down. We're not done. We're not through yet. And I don't mind it.
Well, yeah, when you've got a lead like that, you see your players playing loose. I can also understand just calling that timeout to say, yeah, everybody calm down. Let's play the game. Let's just close it out. We're not here to give EDG a way back in. And if you do, well, they will certainly take it. Yeah, big lead for Gen G. Defensive side, couple of investments, but nothing huge. Mostly Sheriffs, a Marshal, and a Bookie to back them up. For Gen G, I mean, sometimes you'll see these rounds where you group up, try to play the numbers, but it's such a big map. It's not really a gamble they want to take. Instead, just playing defaults and hoping they can pop off individually. I think really they're just thinking about the next round.
I'm definitely intrigued by a Bucky on Breeze. I'm not sure it's something that will necessarily be expected, but when you have that extra controller in the form of Karen, you can create little pockets for someone like Lakia to play. And as said, his resurgence in this series has been fantastic. And his resurgence in the scene in general. He had to go through being slightly trapped to a one-map player, to being trapped in the tier 2. And now he's been shot in the face. I was optimistic. One of those plays you never really expected to work. Meteor, though, still making things interesting. But he will fall as well. Munchkin a little bit out of the action. Looking to keep the rounds to deaths ratio the same. Although he did technically die to the spike, which doesn't come up on the score.
If we're being pedantic, he's died a few more.
11-4-5
But for EDG,
okay.
13-5 on last map. Pushing up to 5 here. Full buy for Gen G next. Deja Vu starts to ring true, but the attacking side has had a good run of things in this round at least. Damage is very minimal. Nobody and Howdong both extremely low to the Sheriff. They're just going for the exit towards this.
Rating points
well, Munchkin might not die.
Rating point
depends how quickly he pushes out here. Still being watched on the cross, but he finds a nice, safe corner to go down to it. So he'll still be able to buy in the next 11-5.
The Sentinels కూడా అట్లా ఆడారు.
On their
నలుగురు
way,
తెచ్చిపోయారు
but
అన్నమాట.
still
ఫామ్
long
కలిసి బ్లాస్ట్ అయ్యే టైంలో తెచ్చిపోయారు. కిల్ చేయకుండా.
It's worth mentioning, Lakia, well, he's 13-9 right now, 3 assists. He was 3 kills, 18 deaths, 1 assist on map 1. I mean, it was an abysmal map for him on Icebox, but Split and Breeze, he's back in the game.
It still seems like it was the closest map so far. How things are going elsewhere, but there we go. 11-5.
top player up
EDG starting to bridge the gap.
Wow.
It's one hell of a way to kick off the
crazy shot కదా.
I said there's always a worry if this man starts gaining confidence. Well, it doesn't get any better than that.
1 shot, 2 kills. Gen G left to rely on a very scattered hold. Look at the minimap. You can see those defenders are going to have big performances when the push comes down. And it looks like EDG want to shove into the A site. This is Texture's opportunity. The drone could clear him, or at least keep him behind this Viper wall as it's about to go up and the push to come through. Texture, no dash. He's being silenced, suppressed, but he still fires back. 23 HP though. The players are quickly circling him, encircling him, I should say, and finally taking him down. Munchkin and Karen to do it all. Nice shot by Karen. There's an opportunity. If he can buy some time, the flank will catch another off guard, and now it's winnable again. Gen G has suddenly found legs in the round, but a snake bite in hand leads to Munchkin's death. Karen has to clutch this alone. He's keeping his opponent behind the pyramid, but nobody jumps up top to take him down. A 6th for EDG. The gap down to 5. It's not quite manageable yet, but this attack side is really picking up some momentum.
Somehow, Kankan is only 3 kills away from being top fragger. I don't
that's the thing. Like 3 seconds delay on
they threw it right off the map. I guess because Kankan has the Blade Storm, he's going to use that for what
shot మొత్తం crazy shot. ఇద్దరు ఒకేసారి స్టాక్
I guess attempting something a little bit more explosive. Blade Storm available on the other side as well. But yeah, I guess maybe the surprise factor of that operator now.
నువ్వు ఎప్పుడైనా మామూలుగా 4 members 5 members చచ్చిపోవడం చూసావా? ఒక షాట్ తోటి.
You can see the patience. Interesting actually, considering how passive they're holding in this round at the moment. So like that operator could have had some value. He could have removed the cam with a shock dart. Chichu now looks to reclaim that control, something that was given up earlier in the round, and it looks like they might be about to use Kankan as a bit of a sledgehammer. Information going to be found though. Already clearing out A main, and I don't know if he's going to get far enough. Might be able to spot some of the players in mid. That would be huge.
Range low, jet knife features for
TP back to the site, but it means that they're not going to pull any early rotations just yet. In fact, though, EDG are going to use that as a move towards B.
16 or 18
Cage up for Chichu as well. He's making his way around mid for the lurk. The rest of the players break through the B site. Viper utility to block them. The fight is taken instead. Munchkin blinded up completely, but Kankan can't get it done with Karen on the side. 3 kills quickly found, and even the Blade Storm frag on the flanker. Easy peasy for Gen G. They had a real handle on this round from the get-go, and 12-6. 1 more needed for Gen G. 6 chances across the line, and I am amazed by what we've seen in these last 2 maps. This Gen G squad, I don't know if they need to play a 1-map scrim before their next series, but they are just I would, if this was online, I'd say it's 5 different players, Tom.
Well, that's the thing. You look at their last few series, it does kind of feel like that. They always seem to lose one, except for an overtime victory for a 2-0 versus DRX. But that's also just something to talk about. The teams they're going through, it's not like they've had an easy route. You can't sit there and go, oh, you know, they beat one of the weaker teams in their region. They beat DRX, they beat PaperX, they've beaten Loud. These are teams that have all been within top 4 at international events. Now they look to beat the China #1, a team again who's been in the playoffs before, and this time it's looking like it might be theirs. Just 2 kills away from creating history for their organization within Valorant. And it's looked like it is done and dusted. Gen.G will be the second team to make it through to the playoffs. For Lakia, it is a return to greatness.
What a resurgence for this man. Not only on the international stage and scene, not just counting down the years, but even in this series. 3 kills, 18 deaths, and 1 assist to start it out. And he certainly woke up towards the second and third map. But there's nothing that you could do you could say to take this away from Gen.G as a squad. This team looks scary, threatening, and they're able to come back from these huge deficits from a rough map 1 to a dominant map 2 and 3.
Same region of the match.
But not well
Same
enough
region of
today.
I think it's been a fantastic show. A great start from them, and unfortunately weren't able to battle back. But the real story here is with Gen.G. You've got returning heroes, teams that have been here before, players that have stepped into this team after maybe having underwhelming previous seasons. Like expectations for this roster were nowhere near
Sentinels
as high as
qualifier.
this. Now they sit top 4 in the world. They're looking at a chance of genuinely fighting for a trophy. And for some of the players, well, this is elation. This is time to prove themselves. For some of them, this is their first time. They're looking at Kara, someone who was stolen from Riot
EDG
now and said top 4. That's where they currently sit within the VCT.
Yeah, you never know who's on the other side. Frankly, unbelievable turn of events. Gen.G, there were doubters. There were a lot of doubters, even after regional performance coming on the international stage. We weren't sure what we were going to get to see from these guys, but all I want to see is
global sports
more from this squad. Texture especially, he was absolutely unbelievable.
ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా ప్లేఆఫ్స్ క్వాలిఫై అయిపోయింది ఒక
Able
సెంటినల్
to
టీం
punch back
మిగతా టీమ్స్
just as hard
క్వాలిఫై
as
అయ్యాక
EDG
ఎట్లా
came out
ఉంటుంది
and, I mean, silencing that's a feat of its own.
It must be nice having 2 duelists.
రెండు ఉన్నాయి
that are better than most teams. First duelist. Like, you look back to that split game, and it was just him and Meteor, both 22 kills apiece. You look at this game, okay, Tex was a little bit quiet, but he's just basically running straight into the site, so Meteor was thriving. And then I said, you've got that supporting cast.
రెండు విన్నర్స్ ఆడతారు ఒకటి లూజర్స్ ఆడతాడు
Honestly, if you're heading into the playoffs, I don't want to face up against this team, because even on this was one of their worst maps, and they just dominated.
Tom, what did we say? What did absolutely everybody
Arta,
said when we saw the veto come through?
Professor.
I heard whispers all throughout the state. Why the hell do they keep letting Breeze through? Well, you know what? I don't think anyone's going to be asking that.
I mean,
Jen was right. This is clearly a map that they're confident on. It's definitely a map that they're good on. And now other teams might consider taking it out, but with Split in there as well, I don't know what you want to do. That was a hell of a statement by Gen.G, taking down EDG in the fashion that they did over on Split. Now we got to see if anybody can stop this squad. They're looking for the top.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's almost